Hello everybody and welcome back to the And More Bus Videos YouTube channel. We've just been driven through by a B7 ALX 400 at the Stagecoach depot in Bowdenham version 5. What a way to start the video. I wasn't expecting that the vehicle would quite literally drive through us, but hey ho, these things happen. So we are in the depot. We're on a depot starting due to its Wootton depot. Is this Wootton depot? The Stagecoach depot for this idea of Stagecoach Kent running alongside TfL, that kind of thing. And we've got the lovely Volvo Olympian Northern Counties Palatine in front of us with a vehicle P579 EFL that started its life with Stagecoach but actually ended it with First Bus. We'll explain that in a little bit. Oh, and in that, there we go. And in this video, we are going to be taking this vehicle on one side. Get the blind back again. Have I just switched the whole thing off? I better not. What have I done with the electrics? Oh dear, but anyway. There we go, the electrics seem to work at that point, so let's sort that out. But yes, we're going to be taking this on, I believe, the 604. That's what the duty is that I've lined it up to do. Let's get the doors closed and we'll get our way to the school. As you could see, the B7 ALX 400 was also doing a school run and is now slightly in front of us after we've just had an ever so slight issue getting it set up. So what's it called? It's WS, there we go, WS. Even though the other bus did turn right, I thought we'd better just check, just in case, to make sure that we are going to the right location. Now it's advertising here as literally a 5-minute run, so hopefully that is the case, because we are slightly late going up to the school in typical school bus fashion. So this is the first of the school runs. I've decided I'm going to do the school runs first and then I'm going to do the work service. So I might do a little bit of rotation between them and we'll see how we go with these. But basically the school runs on Bowdenham are split into half being run by Stagecoach, so half being non-TfL, and half of them are TfL franchised. So we'll reflect our vehicle types on each of these routes as well. So we won't, like, let's say, take a TfL bus on a non-TfL route, etc. We will sort of keep with a level of tradition with them, so that we can sort of enjoy the realism of potentially the non-TfL stuff being a little bit more unorthodox than the TfL bits. And we'll also be slightly limited with the TfL stuff. Unfortunately, we don't have stuff like DAF DB250. ALXs and bits like that I won't mind using, but we'll still manage with enough. There's enough London spec buses for us to manage. So I believe by the looks of it we're coming back this way. I think it's the 604 we're doing, and we're doing the Hereford run. So we're doing the service that runs up to Hereford. So as I say, we're doing the not in service dead run. We'll probably only do the dead run a couple of times and then probably the last video or two from Stagecoach, and same with TfL. We'll probably won't bother so much with the dead run because it may get a little bit repetitive, but we'll see how we go. So we'll get pulled into the very top of the bay, we'll get our destination sorted, even though usually you wouldn't, probably most operators would just run with the service on the front, but I thought let's put not in service on to give some pretense that we're trying to be a professional op that doesn't necessarily just put the blind on and have people confused trying to stick their hand out. I can't remember as well if these services, because I only drove them the odd times, I cannot remember if they are public on the map or they're actually closed door, i.e. we'll only have a light in passengers, so we'll find out. I think I'm going to be cheeky and overtake this other bus. I'm going to be really cheeky and just overtake it. There we go, because we are due off as well at 1540, so and that doesn't look in a rush. So I think I should have been in front of that, so I thought, yeah, let's overtake. Doesn't look potentially big enough to warrant a double-decker with the capacity. I mean, this is for all of the services, and as you can see, there's 5 services. I mean, I'd have preferred if the people would have been going all the way down here, but hey-ho. We've got TfL bus number 1 showing up. So that's just shown up as well. We must be one of the first services out, actually, 15:40. Now, our run as well, very short, 16 minutes. And then I run back to the depot as well. So, not too bad overall. Yeah, we must be part of the earlier batch of vehicles. I thought there'd be a few more here unless some had already left. Ah, there we go. That's just set off to load for 607. There's a London there settling in. Ah, so it must be like a staggered order. So if everything comes in and leaves on time, there's actually some sort of system to it rather than everything showing up together. So I also don't know if we don't terminate at the railway station, so presumably we're going to terminate just like a typical school run, somewhere rather random, and then run back. That's pretty cool. So I've not really done that many school runs in OMSI 2. There's not that many that exist. I mean, Bowdenham is the main map for having the school run system set up. So I do think it's realistic. It is very, very realistic to what you would get. You've got your buses for your morning and your evening school runs. And the only negative with this bus, because it is a lovely vehicle as this Olympian, but it is limited to 40. Something else I must just say in the relatability to the Olympian is the fact that this vehicle was briefly released to build up a group of people who are testing it, sort of like a public beta. Once they got enough testing people, they did then take the download down. So at this exact moment in time, this vehicle isn't available for download, but will be at some point soon. Just the usual standard disclaimer, as one would say. We're not popping into Asda. And there we go, literally where we've just come from, the depot, going straight past it again. Crikey. So yeah, that was pretty fun. We've got to remember that with the 607 as well, we do come back this way. So potentially with the 607 I may not do the dead run on that one. I'll probably do it on the odd others, but... As I say, heading up to Hereford, but doing it the direct way. Although it does look like we also go via the station. So, looking at the schedule, we go via the station and then I assume terminate in the centre. It's different. Now, Hereford, sort of, the layout of part of it does slightly remind me of a bus stop in Henley upon Thames. Which I waited, where I'd alighted an Arriva bed and bucks B9TL that was absolutely, it was sapphire spec, but it was absolutely knackered beyond belief. The fan was on full whack, the bus was in limp mode. It was a dire situation. I went on that and then I waited and boarded it's equally as old Trident 2 SM58 to do the second bit. I caught the X80 that was dimensional late, and then the 800 from Henley. And the 800 vehicle was equally as knackered, and it was rather funny. But on the subject of that, and I thought that while we're going to Hereford in the game, now at the time I'm filming this, it's very much only just other videos. I've sort of got a stack of videos at the moment. It's just how I film them. It's just been announced that Arriva are now planning to close High Wycombe and Aylesbury depots with Arriva. Quite a big move, because that would mean that they would cease operating those services between Oxford and High Wycombe. So it would be quite a substantial change. Not Oxford, sorry, Reading. They went to it was Reading to High Wycombe, and all the Aylesburys. It would be quite a stark change with that. I mean, they were very clear that they'll still run what the 500 was, what the X5 is now. They'll still run that, because that seems to be rather profitable. But the rest of the routes, they are getting shut of them for all intents and purposes. So it was quite random, so to speak. I mean, it's not it's an announcement that was partially expected, but partially not. And the reason it was partially expected is because, unfortunately, Arriva haven't been investing in those areas as they should have done, and the investment that they have put into the areas are way too late to gain back customers in which they lost. And because of how unreliable the vehicles are, and as a result the services are, and as a result the drivers are, because the drivers don't want to drive knackered old buses that keep breaking down, the independents have started to creep in. I mean, Aylesbury is the most prominent for it, because Arriva is absolutely tiny in Aylesbury and the main operators are independents. So Arriva have sort of had their head in the sand for a little bit too long, and unfortunately, or on an only 604, I think, in the section. But they've had their head in the sand for a little bit too long round there, and have lost customer trust. I mean, Red Line, who compete with them along the Oxford to Aylesbury and Aylesbury to High Wycombe corridors, have just invested in brand new B8R Evoras for the services. They run the services more frequent, quicker, more reliable, and as a result of that, people choose the independent more. So unfortunately, that is the way it's going. I just realised that my entire dashboard is on. I never noticed that, but the entire... Because I looked down there, I was like, hang on, is somebody wanting to get off? And nobody. All of my dash lights are on. Interesting. Just all stuck on. Okay. This is very much, this bus is for school runs only kind of vehicle. That's the vibe that we're going for. Keep driving it, Bereat kind of vibe. There was that. We are now in Hereford, so we've got Hereford Station through the town centre to drop everybody off, and then it'll be a run back to base. So now it's going to be quite interesting if Arriva give all of that up. Very, very interesting. Because it has been on its way out for ages. They have just revitalised both local bus service networks around there, and are still reporting a loss. Now, for one, my opinion on why they are making a loss is unfortunately purely down to the fact that the maintenance costs for the vehicles that they run will be that high that any level of profit that they can make goes straight out of the window, because the services on corridors to Reading and like the 300 that they did, the X3 I think it is now, and the Oxford services, they are busy routes. They do carry people and they are busy. So it must purely be down to the maintenance costs that are hindering the operation. Like it can't be the passenger numbers, because the buses are busy services. I mean, it might be sort of slightly down to the funding potentially if they are all commercial corridors. However, even then, it still shouldn't really be affecting them too much. Hey, 605 goes straight forward, another unique section of road for us, but it shouldn't be affecting them too much, because at the end of the day, they are busy routes, they are busy buses, and they're still getting funded for the £2 cap and all of that lot, and it's just a bit random, really. But hey, these things happen at the end of the day. These things happen, and we'll have to see. I have to see what ends up going on with them, because it is a reminder that I do need to pop down. They've got some B70Ls that are currently running around in Wickham. I do need to go and get them. So I think a day round there and Slough is definitely on the cards at some point very soon. As I say, now amplified by the fact that they are getting shut of it and giving it up. So that kind of amplifies my my need to check there. I think we must be the only route along this section. We are, yes. The 604 is the only service, so we must leave the town slightly, serve all the housing estates, and then head round as one does. Oh, traffic lights. Oh, come on, boss. There we go. Thank you. Saw the junction, but because of the red brick, I didn't see the traffic lights until very, very, very last second, because the wall is like black and red. So the traffic lights kind of blended in, and then I saw the white surrounds. I thought, oh yeah, traffic lights. As you do, just in nick of time. I mean, quite literally at nick of time, but. I think what would have been quite good potentially is if with these duties it was a school run, and then after the school run it asks you to do a trip on a business park shuttle or something like that. I think that'd have been quite cool. Oh, there we go. Williams Street. We're here. Slightly early, but slightly take it away from the curve. There we go. And then are we now a dead run back to the depot? Yes, we are. So let's crack on back to the depot as you do. So I'll get a nice screeny, I think. Yeah, get a nice screeny. Just pulling away from the bus stop. It looks alright around here. It's nice enough. Gotta make sure I know where I'm going. There we go. And then we'll also get not in service stuck on in a minute. Mutton Depot U-turn. There we go. So I've got to go back into the town centre. So apparently 10 minutes back to the yard, that I would imagine with this 604 is most probably the exact same way we came. So the 604 is kind of just like a loop where you do it, including the dead runs. It's just one big loop, or not loop. It's sort of what would boomerang. So well, basically a to and fro. I know I called it loop, but it isn't really a loop because you are just going and back again. Oh no, we're going a different way. So yes, it is a loop. Watson Depot. Well, I hope it's Watson Depot. Remember driving D92s in 375 first bus urban 2 livery? Very exciting times. Again, still very strange we're going into a new era of first bus livery already. We seem to have just gone through in just a period where no one can quite decide what they're doing, so they've just gone, nope, we're doing one livery for everyone. So it was just really random how they've done it, but hey ho, it's up to them what livery they decide to plaster on the buses. Oh, that was a very sharp turn for that car to make. I'm just going to double check that I definitely went the right way there. I'm just thinking because I'm just and it just says all route, so yeah, I must be doing. Just lost me bearings of where I've just come from driving this route. Absolutely lost my bearings. If we can get back to the depot at the time the bus was due to arrive at the terminus, that'd be amazing. Oh yes, yeah, we're back on the route that we came, and I remember that bus stop. And there goes the 459. Again, another route that we did. We did that in the Arriva Beat and Billy Renown. I was hoping the rollers would work on it, but nobody had made rollers, so we just ran with the number. Nice enough run was that. Quite enjoyed it. The only issue though with the Renown in game is from my own experience in real life actually, driving one, they're not the quickest off the mark. They're really not the quickest off the mark. I mean, the one that I drove was a little bit slower, as its gearbox wasn't 100%. It wasn't very well, but it still was slow off the mark, and the ones in OMSI are still slow off the mark. It does take a bit of getting used to. Okay, you carry on. Yeah, it's quite literally, apart from the town centre section, you just retrace your steps. A little bit of a loop, but nothing major. Yeah, I did forget that this bus is just limited to 40. I did forget how painful a bus limited to 40 can actually be. It's going a little bit faster than it should be doing because it's just gone down a hill, but it's still a relatively painful experience. Especially in a simulator where, yeah, you do have speed limits, but you don't necessarily have to follow them. I think in real life it's not as painful because there's more 30 roads, but in a game like this, a little bit more irritating. Oh, Vanarama's slamming all on. Thank you, Van. I'd rather have not gone into the back of you, but slamming all on from whatever speed we're all doing to nothing and then accelerating again makes it difficult to not drive into the back of you. There goes a 459. Come on, taxi. I want to go home. This is just a dead run. Dead run to the depot simulator style, where we're not bothered about cars and vans anymore. So cannot believe that this route traces its exact steps back to the depot. Stay behind the taxis. It will be a slam all on AI vehicle. Go. In we go. There we go, leave it in the wash for them. By the sounds of it, this Olympian has nailing suspension then, goodness me. But yes, that was the 604 with a bit of driver wanting to go back to yard style of driving, and cars being typical London and slamming all on. So yeah, that was fun. Thoroughly enjoyed that run. Nice 604. I didn't enjoy the fact that you do have to double track your steps all the way back. I do like doing a run like this where you do see different scenery on your dead runs. So wasn't as keen on that element, but hey ho, it is as life with some runs, just as it is in real life with them. With all that said and done though, I do hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, then do be sure to click the like button so that more people can find it and enjoy like you have. If you haven't already, do be sure to subscribe to the OMSI's YouTube channel for more content like this from the simulation section with videos up to twice a week, as well as an archive of over 7,000 backseat and engine focused public transport videos from the UK and beyond. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this one, and I will see you all in the next video, mate. Bye for now. Bye.